8 of internets with that Chansey. And we got Alex with 2 Pories, so that's kind of cool. So the big question for this match is, does Alex have enough physical damage to deal with this Chansey? He's got the Garchomp. He's got the Araquanid. If the Garchomp has Sword Stance, that could do something. Alex has already made his decision. Looks like Nick is still selecting. He's using the entire timer. These players are 2-1, by the way. Fun fact about Nick Navarre, both of his regional finishes and his internets finishes were actually better than his MSS finishes last year. So that's kind of funny. And yes, this is double ducks, clearly. Alright, so we got a mirror lead. That's kind of interesting. It looks as if Alex's Arcanine is faster than Nick's Arcanine. Alright, Arcanine comes out. In comes Garchomp. And there's the Chansey. Alright, so Nick tried to Volt Switch into that Garchomp switch in, so that's a good switch by Alex. And he gets a critical hit on the Koko with Dazzling Gleam, so that does around half. Obviously, it wouldn't get the KO unless he gets another crit. So I think what we can expect here is Nick has to play around this Sword Stance, which is very available to be set up right now, while he also wants to start spreading Toxics. Okay, so Nick's Koko protects. Dazzling Gleam, that's going to do exactly 0 damage to Chansey. We got the Sword Stance, okay. Oh, and Garchomp avoids the Toxic. That's gonna matter a fair amount. The Chansey should still survive an Earthquake at this point. I don't think it would survive a Z move, assuming Alex's Garchomp has it. I guess we'll find out. Oh, this is... Okay, so this is a Twinkle Tackle from Nick's Koko. If this is going to go into Garchomp slot, it'll KO. Yeah, okay. And that removes probably the only way that Alex can deal with this Chansey. So that was a big play. Oh, it's interesting to note that Dazzling Gleam actually KO'd Nick's Coco, so if that was a speed tie, that very well could have gone differently. It could have been a double KO on Alex's side, and instead Nick has a gigantic lead right here. Alright, Coco comes out, Arcanine comes in. Let's see if this PZ is the Z conversion. That might be pretty good here. Try attack, okay. Seismitox coming out from Chansey. It's gonna do exactly 50 damage. So Alex went straight for the try attack. I'm guessing that means that this is a Specs PC? Maybe a Scarf PC? Gyarados come in. Okay, cycling the Intimidate. As long as this Arcanine can't KO the Chansey, then there's not really a good way for Alex to deal with it. That looks like Scarf damage. That Wild Charge did a fair amount even after the Intimidate. But it's irrelevant, as Soft Boiled's gonna heal all that back and more. And the Electric Terrain is gone, so that Wild Charge is going to do significantly less. It'll KO the Gyarados, but that's not the problem right now. So Alex wants to cycle out his Intimidate, bring back the Electric Terrain. Gyarados is going to protect. And yeah, Chansey is just free to Toxic some more. By the way, guys, any fans of Nick who understand that he spends all 45 minutes of every single one of his matches, this is why. So unlike that last match where we were done in 2 turns, this looks like it's gonna take a while. It's not like Celesteela Mirror's levels of taking a while, but Tri-attack coming out from Z. That should KO the Gyarados. T-Bolt into Chansey. I would expect just a soft boiled here. Seismic. Okay, Seismic Toss. That might be able to get the KO after the toxic damage. Yeah, it does seem like the timer on our side is frozen. That doesn't have anything to do with the match itself. But I think with a match with Chansey in it, you can expect this to take a fair amount of time. So what's Alex's win condition here? He's going to need to get the Arcanine in safely, which he'll be able to do after the poison damage runs out on Coco this turn. And then I guess I don't know what he can even do. He would probably need multiple crits. Alright, so he's gonna bring in Arcanine right now. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I know that Thunderbolt from Coco is going to do negligible damage to Chansey, but I really think you have to try. I don't think attacking the Arcanine there was going to win you the game. Although, Alex's Arcanine isn't poisoned yet, so if for some reason that T-Bolt crit the Arcanine, I guess that might be able to have enough time to KO the Chansey, considering it also has to spend a turn Toxicking. And even then, Toxic can miss. So that does good damage. That puts Arcanine in Seismic Toss range. Oh, Hyper Beam. Did not. Oh, close combat. And he sends the close combat to the Arcanine. Okay, so if the Hyper Beam had hit the Arcanine, that close combat would have redirected to the Chansey. But okay, so that actually was really unfortunate on Alex's side. That looks like a choice ban Arcanine. That very well could have won him the game had the Hyper Beam hit the Arcanine. I'm not sure why he decided to double the Arcanine slot, though. Maybe he didn't think that the Hyper Beam would get the Arcanine, and it might not have. I can't say I know Hyper Beam calcs very well. All with the deductibility, it probably would have come close. Alright, so Nick gets game 1. Yeah. Noah. Alright, so we know that this Arcanine from Alex is banded with close combat, so that actually gives him some play against this Chansey. He probably still has to come up with a similar game plan. Alright, so we saw same leads from game 1. No, we don't. Never mind. Alex brought the PZ as a lead, not the Arcanine. He really has to save that Arcanine for the Chansey. And we saw that PZ was scarfed last game. I wonder if he just tries to snipe something with Hyper Beam just right now. If he can KO the Arcanine turn 1, then that would be pretty big. Protect comes out from Coco. Oh, it's got, alright, double protect. Hyper Beam. So what Nick's doing there is he's just scouting out the move that the PZ is going to be locked into. And now we know it's locked into Hyper Beam. So Nick's probably going to want to send in his Chansey in the slot that he thinks Hyper Beam is going to go into. It might be good for Coco to come out here and bring in the Arcanine just to try and hit the... or to get position against the Chansey when it comes in. See if Alex... No, okay. So he didn't see that exactly. That would have been hard to see anyway. See how much this Hyper Beam does. That did reasonable damage to the Chansey, but when you're locked into Hyper Beam now, like, nothing's reasonable. But, oh, wait, no. Okay, so he brings an Arcanine here. And the Arcanine will be banded close combat is going to hit this Chansey, so the Chansey has to come out. The PZ's stuck for a turn. Alright, so if the Chansey has to come out, then Alex probably just is fine to Hyper Beam again next turn. Maybe he can make a hard read and try and extreme speed this Arcanine. It should get the KO from this range. It's also faster. We saw that from the beginning. We saw that from game 1. I think I would expect Nick to bring Coco back in here. If he brings Coco back in there, it's threatened by this PZ, though. Alright, Gyarados comes in. Oh, if this is an extreme speed from Alex on the Arcanine, then that Intimidate might not be able... Okay. Oh, that'll definitely get the KO. Alright, so he just went for the close combat. Okay. So now, Hyper Beam should be able to take out this Gyarados at this point. You could Hyper Beam the Gyarados and close combat the same slot if you think the chance is going to come back in. Like, I would imagine it doesn't come back in, because it doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense from Nick's side. I think I'd probably just Extreme Speed the Arcanine and Hyper Beam if I'm Alex. Gyarados protects. Okay. Okay, he went for the Hyper Beam. Alright, Flare Blitz gets the knockout. That's actually pretty big. Because this gives Nick a free switch in because of the recoil damage. And now it's not as simple for Alex to switch his Arcanine back out. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Cocos from both sides coming in here. Yeah, okay. I think, once again, I'd probably just... Well, if he thinks that it's a speed tie between Cocos, Alex may just want to, like, go for the Gyarados slot and try to close combat a Chansey switch in. But if he thinks that his Coco is slower, then it's going to get KO'd by Nick's Coco right now. Alright, that switch out's pretty smart. Yeah, alright, so this is definitely a speed tie. I'm not sure I like the Dazzling Gleam there, though. And that's gonna do a lot of damage to this Garchomp. Does about 40%. Oh, drag. Okay. That's a big play from Nick. Because now this Gyarados will come close to one-shotting the Arcanine with Waterfall. And it's going to be the fastest Pokemon in the field right now. I guess the Intimidate will remove the attack boost, so it doesn't actually come close to one-shotting with Waterfall. But the Gyarados being the fastest, being at least faster than the Garchomp is pretty important right here. So, Arcanine has to lock itself into close combat, I would imagine. Because I don't think locking it into Flare Blitz would be enough against the Chansey and back. Coco protects. Garchomp protects. Is it possible he got the close comp? No. He locked himself into Extreme Speed. That's not going to be enough. Because now the Z move will pressure the Garchomp while the Chansey can soft-boiled. Unless this Extreme Speed can KO the Coco from wrist range, it is banded. Nick's gonna play that safe, just in case. He's gonna make sure that it can't KO the Coco. Goes for the double protect. Alright, so this is gonna go into the Garchomp slot, and that's going to be game, in all likelihood. So Alex had an out. If he did an extreme speed, if he close combat at the Gyarados slot and hit the Chansey, that would have given him a pretty good chance to win. But that was like, it's a super risky play. Like, it makes sense that he didn't do it. Alright, so double protect from Nick. This is, I guess what he's doing here is just trying to lower extreme speed's PP faster. Just assure your win conditions. Oh, he gets a crit on Gyarados. I mean, it's not going to be enough, but it's nice. That paralysis, like, it kind of matters. Doesn't really matter that much. If he can crit the Chansey with extreme speed, though. And I guess we're not going to get to see that. Okay. So Nick's going to take this match 2-0. That was a pretty close match, though. That was a good match. So Nick Navarre is going to be 3-1. Alex Williams is going to be 2-2. Yeah, Seismic Toss is going to clean up the game. Alright, good match from both players. And because that match went significantly longer than last round, we won't have such a long break between rounds. So we'll be back with round 5, not too terribly long.